Hello, everyone. This is, well, we have winners semifinals here. This is the last match of this round. Well, this weekend that we have scheduled. And we have Blossom and Quado versus Tim and Purenail. We are getting set up right now. I think all the racers are ready. Uh, and yeah, when I get them counted down in a bit, next, you want to tell me a little bit about what you expect from this matchup. What do you think?
Um, yeah. I think that this matchup is going to be very, very interesting. I think it's going to depend a lot on who is going to find that like early progression. We have some very, very talented rando players today that all have shown a lot of um, uh, really good ability throughout this tournament. So I'm excited to see what lies in store with this seed.
Yeah, looks like we have some issues with commands in chat. That's fine. And I got them counted down, so we should be seeing them head over soon. It's interesting. We have 0 in fungal, so I don't know that I expect either or anyone to go down. Uh, the only thing is you might want to go down if you think you want the bench, in case you think your first progression is like dash or C dash or claw, in which case you would want to go to crossroads from there, even though there's nothing fungal. But yeah, we see 3 in Green Path and 1 in Fog Canyon. Unfortunately, there was nothing at Autopilot. Yeah, and we do see Blossom going down, even though I think yeah, I guess the other thing is you still have Dirtmouth Stag, and it also first progression could be a Stag. You never know. So
hmm Yeah, so we see Blossom going down, getting Queen Station Stag, and
and
Tim as well.
it's just a sword fill. Okay. Well, I think we saw that Purenail was the first to unpause, so wouldn't say there's any real advantage here right now. Just different stream delays. No big deal. And did either of them stag to Dirtmouth, or was it just a Soul Totem? I think I missed it.
Um, I don't remember what was at Dirtmouth, but I am pretty sure I saw at least Tim stag to Dirtmouth.
Okay. It was probably a Soul Refill because I don't see anything in the recent items.
Yeah.
Can't imagine they would have skipped it otherwise. Oh, yeah. And like I was saying, this is why you would want that Queen Station bench, because
hmm hmm
really the player that's going up here in Green Path can't go to cliffs because you don't have a boulder killer, so you can't climb up because since you can't pass the boulder. Obviously, itemless boulders exist, but they don't actually exist, so we don't count them.
Here we see blue team with an early claw. So now it looks like Blossom is going through fungal, most likely to get to Crossroads, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and it looks like they were. I think blue team did the split that I like to do here, which is have the person that goes up go straight left, because I think on average you get progression faster, just because it splits more evenly. And red team did the other possible split here, which is just have the person that goes up clear everything in green path, and have the person that goes down do stone sink dark room and like MMC, shade skip, and just hope the other person finds progression, which gets you intended progression a little bit slower, but it does get you some checks that other teams don't do. So
Looks like
some trade-offs.
Quado and Blossom also got Ismas and an early Dreamnail there, so getting a little bit of an early lead on the major items.
Yeah, and that's everything in green path, so they don't have to do anything else there. As you see, Quado is now also heading out towards Fungal, probably into Crossroads.
And we saw red team there pick up the Ismas as well, probably going to have similar paths here at the beginning of this match.
Yep. blue team just a little bit ahead here because... Oh, where's Quato going?
MMC?
MMC.
Oh, it's an interesting play whenever people are going through areas that have 0 checks because there's still or 0 major items because there's still reasons to do that because there could be
Absolutely.
items that lock other checks like getting charms for Salubra or simple keys. So there's always a reason to like still get some easy checks in areas that have 0.
Yeah, we're probably going to see Quato warp out soon because we saw that Resting Ground Stag come up. And I hope Purenail doesn't expect to get to cliffs here. Okay, yeah, turns around. You cannot get to cliffs without... Yeah, I don't know. There's maybe a shade skip you could do with Claw. There's obviously also the slope ball, and if you have a Balder killer, you can just climb up, but they don't have those right now, so it would be very rough to get to cliffs. Yeah, and so as people are saying in chat, early Claw makes it so that you can oftentimes just skip all the checks because it really gives you access everywhere, which means you don't typically have to do checks for like stags or like fragiles and that kind of stuff early on. But it's not the worst play. You don't want to have to follow super far, especially when fungal here is 0, so you can't even really split unless one person goes to deep nest, and that's like not the most fun play.
Yeah, this seed is interesting. There's not one like particular area that seems like stacked as major items go. It looks like Ancient Basin has 5, but it's not like there's a single area that has, you know, significantly more than the other areas so far.
Yeah, honestly, I would say definitely Basin looking like the most attractive area here because there aren't that many checks in Basin, to be honest. Or like, yeah. So it's 5 for Basin is pretty shocking. Like something like City, you'd expect 3 or 4, so that's not too surprising. Just a standard clear there. Crystal Peak also has a lot of checks usually, so. And QG3 as well. That's also probably big. And I guess I missed what was at Essence. Did you see?
I didn't see any majors at Essence.
Okay.
You went through that rather fast though.
Oh, and well, they have Resting Ground 0, so of course there was nothing there.
That'll solve that. But looks like, if I'm not mistaken, blue team got lanterns. It looks like Quato is going up for Peak's access.
And except that he isn't.
Yep.
And we're getting a report that Crossroads was vanilla, which actually pretty useful in this case. I think the runners will like to see that here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Purenail is, I think, gonna go to Peak here. Quato chose to go to False Knight, probably seeing the man in Crossroads and deciding to go there. I'm gonna guess Blossom's going to Dirtmouth here. I think they saved Sly. And yeah, so I think there was King Station Stag. Was it at Salubra? Something like that.
I didn't catch it.
That's pretty good because that's all of City, all of Basin, and you know that's a way into Resting Grounds. But okay, yeah, and we're seeing King Station Stag here from Tim as well. Yeah, they're gonna really like that because, I mean, the other way is to get Dive or Swim or Sea Dash here. There are a few ways. There's obviously also Hidden Stag, City Storeroom Stag, and even at this point, since they have Ismas, they could just get City Crest and walk there. So there are a lot of ways, but not having it be... I guess getting something that isn't a major item and having it be your city access is pretty lucky in this format usually.
Mm. It's also convenient it being a stag, meaning that like it's not as though both team members have to be able to like then travel to city to get a bench there to be able to warp there later. They just both have that stag, so they can get there however they want to divide and conquer city since it's such a large area.
Yep. Oh, actually, yeah, good point. I did not double check the settings beforehand. They
I believe
have
they have.
boss essence and elevator pass. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
there are much less ways to get into city then. So
Yeah, because they can't go directly from resting grounds
yeah.
then.
King Station is pretty big here. And let's see. So I had Sprint Master and Hidden Stag. I think those are both things that people like to see here. Blossom not remembering to equip zero-cost Fragile Greed will be missing out on all of the amazing Geo that they could have gotten from Fragile Greed. How unfortunate.
At least we get to see a little bit of that Dash Master Sprint Master synergy, which is very important when you do not have Dash or C Dash because it allows the user to go significantly faster than the regular walk speed. So
Yeah, it can also be rather confusing for
yeah, it's
some players
definitely
because yeah,
quite
especially
jarring.
like if you're a speedrunner and you've like gone through these rooms a million times, or honestly if you're just a rando player and you've gone through these rooms a million times, you often want to be jumping, slashing everywhere. When you have Sprint Master on, you should not leave the ground, because if you leave the ground, you're wasting the valuable sprinting that you could be doing, unless you get Airwalk, which is sort of cheating.
Yeah, I'd say a major glitch like Airwalk is probably most likely cheating.
So I did miss what was at Grub. Let's see. Swim at 9 and Love Key at 19. So yeah, Crossroads is clear. Not sure what Blossom's going for here. They do have Hidden Stag and King Stag, so I would think they would want to split City and Basin. You definitely want someone going to Basin, because
Yeah, Quado
obviously
and Basin.
massive number there.
Did both teams check grubs or?
I think we've only seen blue team check grubs.
Well, we know that'll fare well for blue team as they have a tendency to check grubs even without there being checks at grub father that are useful. So Blossom is famously
Yeah.
a grub lover. So
19 grubs, but I suspect they're gonna save a few more than that.
probably.
And see, I guess just the 4 basin checks here. The Blossom going to King Stag. Oh. Going on an adventure. Oh, and
Oh,
yeah,
Dream Gates
nice
at the 3000 geo check in Basin.
the check that Vale is never gonna forget ever again. And electing to ignore the Basin Paler is actually very interesting. I don't know that I agree with that here.
Yeah, instead he's going into C Peak here.
Yeah, Crystal Peak has 4, but you expect Crystal Peak to be an area with a lot of checks usually, so... Yeah, they're being... only like... what? So there are... oh, and Quado's going for the scrub. Nice. I'm gonna assume they were nice wall jumps. Stream lagged a little bit, so missed out on them. I'm gonna assume they were good.
And looks like red team now has dash
Yeah.
from Corny and Cliffs. That's
Huge.
huge.
Yeah, Sprint Master, Dash Master with dash as well. Very
Yeah,
fast.
yeah. Finding Dash Master and then immediately finding Dash means that red team is definitely going to have a bit of a speed advantage early on here.
Absolutely. And we're gonna hope that blue team finds their own dash soon. Yeah, Howling Cliffs 1. It's not very appealing. I guess the one appealing thing is that you can basically clear it, except for 2 checks. Unless you want to do the shade skip to... Well, can you do the shade skip to... Not convinced you can do the shade skip to Cliffs without a dash, but maybe you can.
I think someone in chat earlier said that you can do a shade skip to cliffs, but I wasn't sure with what equipment.
Shade skip to Stagnus, sorry.
Oh, Stagna, sorry. I do not know what equipment is
That
needed to get up there.
That one, I think, would be a little bit harder. I think the usual is Dash Claw. Claw was, I believe, at the Soul Totem below the Toll Bench in Green Path. And we're going to be seeing Purenail zoom through these parts of Crystal Peak that Quato is maybe struggling a little bit with. Game expects you to have Claw and Dash here in order to get your next ability, which is Crystal Heart. Purenail electing to heal instead of going for the Shade Skip. You really do hate to see it.
One day, one of these matches, we'll see a CG2 shade skip.
Well, we did actually see a CG2 Shade Skip. It just happened to be the one match that we had to reset due to technical issues.
Oh, that is a shame. But at least that content got out there. It's definitely a favorite of people who like CG 2%.
And are we gonna be seeing Fog Canyon here? It looks like red team is kind of electing to clear the areas with less items, which is interesting. I mean, I don't disagree considering they do have dash and claw already, so it's honestly not the worst thing to just clear areas since you can basically go anywhere you want. But I do like the idea of going for large areas when you're not full on movement. Because right now, blue team does not have dash, so them going for big areas is good. And I missed wings. I'm gonna assume that was at rafters.
Oh wow, I missed that too.
Yeah. Completely missed it.
Maybe that was when some like lag spike was happening. I don't.
Yeah, I think it was Blossom who picked it up, so I'm gonna say it was rafters probably. Based on what it looked like from the recent items. I don't know
Yeah,
for sure.
looks like chat is confirming it was Raptor Seal.
Rafters, okay. I guess the other awkward thing about, as Purenail decides to not inventory drop the long way down, the interesting thing about Crystal Peak is that you can't actually full clear it if you don't have dive. And in particular, you probably don't want to be going all the way up to crown if you don't have dive, because then you just have to skip something on the way up. It's very annoying.
A second Dream Nail at the totem in the Sea Dash Gauntlet.
Interesting, and as we know, there is a third one at the Basin Fountain. So...
Yeah, so they're gonna have to pay 3,000 geo for that check before they can go into White Palace for that one major that is there. I'm not sure if we saw what because they have palace totems turned on, so that could be anywhere in White Palace.
Yeah, also there is a Dream Nail Deep, so they could leave that one for last if they really wanted to.
Very true.
I do presume they would go for it when they have dash action. Well, when they have full movement, they'll probably go for it. Oh, and there's a dive. That's pretty big as well.
Ooh, yes.
Odd. Auto
Auto.
almost.
Oh!
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 And I said that Purenail would breeze through these rooms. Purenail actually dies to the Crystal Heart Gauntlet, which is very unfortunate. They're going for grubs. I don't... Okay, so let's see if I can go find it again. Swim at 9 and Love Key at 19. So I guess they're probably going to rush that swim to maybe get into Edge, which makes sense. Edge is 5. You want to get there as soon as you can.
Yeah, it's such a large area though. That's going to be a little frustrating for them to traverse with dash. Of course, us knowing that the other team also already
Yeah.
has dash. One of the things about this that makes this format interesting is that unlike a bingo, the racers have no clue where the other team might be. They don't know what items they might have, how far along they are, how many majors they've collected. So you have no way of knowing, if anyone has an edge over you.
Yeah, almost like a speedrun race where well, the difference is you can't really, even if someone were to try to tell you their pace, it would be really hard to be able to determine what pace they have just because there's so many different factors. But yeah, you're not watching your opponents because, well, that would be
Yeah,
cheating.
that's
So you
spoilers.
don't know where they are. And yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, with their movement, it's actually pretty easy to clear Edge. It's just going to be slow because they have dive and ismas and swim, so they can do whatever they want. Just it's going to be pretty slow. And yeah, it's like not that. I don't know. It's hard to say because like you would think there's a dash somewhere, but
Hmm.
you never really know.
Because this has dupe dashes as well, correct?
Yep, one duplicate dash. And Quato is going to hopefully go for this grub here because they need 19. So, there they go. They started at Autopilot Seal, so...
Oh, Blossom got
there's
a
one.
dreamer at camp bench.
It was actually a particularly interesting start because fungal waste was 0 at the start. So there was argument for no one to go down to Queen Station, but I do think it is the better play to have someone get the bench, just because if your first item is a movement item, then your main way out is usually from Queen Station into Fungal into Crossroads, and if you don't get the Queen Station bench, that sets you back a little bit. So it was interesting. No.
Oh, Purenail in that Petra arena. I despise this arena personally.
Wouldn't be too bad here having Wraiths and Shade Soul, but does dunk. That
Ooh.
can be very awkward to find those platforms when you try to get back to the platform that has just fallen through. And him is in an area with 0.
Quado found Trampass, which is that on the way up to Crown.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Tim was going for grubs. Makes sense. And yeah, it does make sense Purenail is going here because 3 in a relatively small area. Probably the least check dense area in the game, actually.
Only one check left in peak. I wonder what else is left for blue team. Or do both teams
Yeah,
need to stay there?
So red team is missing that tram pass since they didn't have dive since they haven't been to city yet. Blue team, so I guess they haven't checked. They've checked CG2, so I guess the only thing they haven't checked is deep focus.
Oh yeah,
So
that
I'm gonna
makes
say
sense.
there's maybe a guarantee. Oh No, they didn't have dive at the start, so this is smart. Quato's going for this.
Oh, the egg.
Yep. They didn't have dive when they entered, so here is this egg here. I think technically right now, it is possible to check deep focus. Oh, and that's really nice pickup, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh,
And they already have lanterns, so no dark deep nest content today.
and I think there was a city crest in Kingdom's Edge. I didn't see where it was, but there was a city crest as well. So that's 2 out of the 5. They still don't have dash, but I would say honestly, the better plays are coming out of blue team right now. Little unfortunate they did not find dash. I like their plays a little bit better though.
Yeah, and as you can see with the major items counter, they've found more major items despite being at a movement disadvantage, at least for dash.
Yep.
And since Quato's eclipsed right now, I expect that we're going to see that dash soon.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing being, especially with that Purenail death, and I think we're seeing slightly cleaner movement out of blue team as well, and we're gonna also see probably, honestly, like, it'll be hard to say, but like, different time saves in different places between Blossom and Tim, just because in the super vertical rooms, Blossom's gonna save time, and in super horizontal rooms, like the one Blossom's in right now, Tim is going to save time. So we will see. I would guess that there is probably more time save overall for Tim, but it's probably closer than we might suspect.
Khan, do you think one of the reasons that Red Team might have opted to check Cliffs earlier was so that it could have earlier access to those Grim checks with like the defined major items in Dirt Myth?
Yeah, I was noticing that. Yeah, so I think what they were going for is because they wanted to check KP for Dirt Myth, and then also to get the lighting the Grim Lantern since they saw they had Dream now, and I think that was pretty smart. And on the way, they incidentally cleared Cliffs, which they didn't know they would do, which, like, was, they wouldn't be able to get a Stag Nest, but that is very good that they at least found the dash and they were able to clear Cliffs while they were there. There's only one thing, so, there's argument that you don't really want to go there, but it does make sense, especially with the Dirt Myth checks. Yeah, as we're seeing and that's where City Crest was. So, yeah.
Now, blue team has their dash.
Oh, nice. Yeah, these rooms, very interesting, the differences in how they're played between having Dash Claw and having Claw Wings. So we saw Blossom go through all these rooms earlier. But yeah, now Blossom doesn't have to do the funky spike tunnel hazard respawn things and just dash through these.
Yeah, it's quite nice to have dash for those.
Ooh. Okay. Blossom just gonna go for it. Not scared. Maybe should be. And does heal. But knocks the hopper into the Georock. And
Tim is at Kalos. Did he check those? I didn't see.
Yeah, I missed those as well. I missed them from Blossom as well. I do expect to see Pale Lurker here from Tim, though, since he does have dash.
Yeah, trying to fight Pale Lurker without dash is definitely...
Apparently, Kingsbrand at Call of Duty. I actually expect to see this fairly early, then.
Whoa.
They do have Shade Soul already, and access to at least Nail 1. I don't expect they will go there with just Nail 1, but yeah, with Shade Soul, it's not the worst thing in the world, and I think you definitely would expect them to want to do it early, with Basin still being at 5, although they do know where one of them is.
Yeah, if Basin's at 5, and you have that opportunity to just unlock that many more checks in Abyss, it's worth it. What's annoying is that it's Kahlo too, and of course a very long check.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's worth noting that even if you have void spells, it's probably not going to Kalos would not go at the same pace as many people are used to because lack of Shaman Stone as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, like, not only, especially with Shade Soul, like, not only affects the damage output, but like the size of your Shade Soul, and like I know especially with like the flying enemies in Call of 2 in particular, it's difficult to hit both of them with base Shade Soul, but hitting them both with Shaman Stone just makes it significantly easier.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed. Interesting to see. I don't know where Quato's gonna go here. It's like DV maybe? And it is
Yeah,
DV.
DV. Yeah, an
Yeah,
excellent
makes
point. That
sense.
Tim's in city, so most likely gonna get wings here.
Yeah, it was very interesting because one team got wings, one team got dash. But I think, honestly, blue team made good plays by not only going to areas that were dense with majors, but also happening to go to areas that are way better with wings. Like, Keek is an area... I wouldn't say, like, way better, but, you know, it's easier to get to Crown, it's easier to get to CG2, it's easier to do a lot of these other little things, and also Edge, way easier to do the super tall rooms with wings. Like, they just went to pretty good areas for wings and had a little bit cleaner movement, and so we're able to keep up and even get ahead. I think getting ahead is probably a little bit more due to going to the check dense areas, but still, being ahead 22 to 27 in a game where they did not get dash, which was pretty good.
It's always interesting to see though, like how already like this match hasn't been going on for too long, and we have so much movement and progress already. And I think part of that is due to the nature of all majors, since the runners will be kind of directed towards where their movement is. But on top of that, we just have some like really, really talented randoers today. So
Yep. Very funny that Otto went to guess. Oh, did he have to walk backwards through all of this? But yeah, and Blossom picking up Hera afterwards, and so was not able to despawn the Devout in time. We're gonna see this backwards.
I missed that divine check on Tim's end. Was
I think that
that?
was a Rancid, I guess, strength.
Hmm.
That's what it was. It looks like Blossom, for the first time in a blue moon, is getting nail upgrades.
Probably for that Kala too.
Gonna doubt.
Yeah, and it looks like, is that nail 2 then? Yeah, nail 2, probably strength, quick slash. And long nail.
Long
Okay.
nail.
Yep, this is
Alright,
gonna
looks
be
like Blossom's going for it.
relatively comfy. Not it's not gonna be your favorite Call of 2, but it's not itemless Call of 2, so you give and take a little.
Quato got a nail art got Cyclone from Weaver's Den.
Yeah, so that's 2, and then there's 1 more. And actually, can clear, well, can't clear Deep Nest because there's Sharp Shadow, but can clear the rest of it, including all the stuff from Mantis Lords, which... I guess the most efficient way to get there is probably through waterways, actually, so...
Yeah, most
see
likely.
If Quado makes that decision, or just goes through Fungal. I don't know. We'll see if Quado picks that up.
Does blue team have any way to get into waterways right now since they don't have a simple key. I mean, I
Yes,
guess
they have.
they're right city.
Well, they have Spike Tunnel and they have Tram Pass.
Right.
And they have Ismas and Swim, so regardless of what the lakes are, they can pass them.
All right.
Don't need Sea Dash if you have Ismas. And also, I believe it might be actually... Yeah, I think only Red Team has the simple key since it was at the CP chest, and Blue Team did not have Dash at the time, so could not do the chest. Yeah, and I guess that's also interesting that Quado is probably going to have to go back there for that, because he doesn't know that it's guaranteed at...
Purenail at 1 HP and Frog smartly healing up.
Ooh. Oh, and we're also getting... Is this a Nail 0 caller from Tim, or did Tim get Nail upgrades as well?
I didn't see Tim get nail upgrades, but I may have missed it.
Looks like probably Nail upgrades, considering how much damage it's doing.
Tim got upgrades? Okay.
I guess both have Nail too. Yeah, and like, if we're looking at these hit counters right here, it's pretty clear where the cleaner gameplay has been. Just less damage tanking, less healing, and less deaths from Blue Team here. Purenail, unfortunately, maybe not feeling the greatest today. I don't know. You can maybe ask about this, but it does seem that the cleanest gameplay is coming from Blue Team, and that's maybe what's keeping them in the lead here. Focus 6. Really not doing deep focus any justice here. You know, nobody wants to put it on when it's at 0, except for me, and...
I like deep focus. I'll accept deep
really,
focus. Just
really
not
nobody's putting it on at 6, though. Yeah. I don't see any justification for putting it on at 6, but... I mean, I'll put it on for 0. Pretty comfy. Put it on for 1, maybe.
I am one of those, like, you know, sinners that use deep focus casually, so...
Yeah. I mean, I think deep focus is interesting. I don't think it's worth it for 4, but... I think in a lot of boss fights, the places where you want to heal, or places where you should heal and should be really allowed to heal, are the places where you could heal 2 or 3 times already, so it's not a big deal to have deep focus on.
Quado's getting that E.
And a lot of the times, newer players will try to heal in riskier spots, and that's where you want quick focus on. So.
Oh, Tim at 1 HP on Oblobbles. Oh.
And Blossom is at the stage right before Oblobbles, I believe. And actually, I don't know, did Tim enter first or second? Because I guess...
I think Tim may have entered first.
Yeah, Tim does get through and gets the King's Brand. I don't know if we've seen anyone from... Oh, is Purenail going now? I might be going to Basin now. Nope. Is it Waterways? Yeah, and there's the Wraiths. Okay.
Wraiths. That's peak cleared for Blue Team. I just saw another simple key come up for Red Team, which is simple keys are pretty cool and pretty important because
yeah.
I just love how with item sync, when you have a team of 2, when you have 2 simple keys, it's possible to essentially cover everything, even though that's not necessarily how the logic is written. So.
Yeah. So I think that was actually. So I think Blue Team also got their first simple key though at the Sea Peak chest. I didn't.
Yes, they went to the Sea Peak chest.
Yeah. Okay. And saying it was in Waterways, so right side Waterways. Yep. Yeah, and we're gonna see the basin clear, which totally makes sense. Small area. lots of majors, you're gonna want to go there. Yeah, Quado does not want to do Nosk right now.
I do not blame him.
Oh yeah, it's also interesting here. I think I think neither team has checked Bretta or GPZ right now.
Yeah, because
And
of that lack of checks or majors, excuse me, in
uh,
fungal.
and the interesting thing being that they're splitting Deep Nest and Edge, which is very dangerous if GPC is something good. So hopefully we do see Blossom go into Bretta from Waterways, though, and check the GPZ soon, so that they can know whether they also have to do Colo 1, which, you know, probably not the most fun thing in the world to know that you've done Colo 1 and Colo 2
Right.
in a race.
Oh my, Blossom just is using the grub train mod, and I just love the interesting geometry that the grubs can get themselves caught in. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like we got Defender's Crest from Waterways, Void Heart from Waterways, and Shade Cloak in Basin as well, all from Red Team here. And they've completely caught up. It is now 18 to 17, so very close race. I completely missed Egg Shop. Well,
I missed.
that
Oh,
is a
a
looking
dream
dream
mail.
now. And so okay, Dartmouth is still not clear. So yeah, hopefully they get to Bretta soon, so they don't have to worry about that. But who knows, really?
They don't have Grimchild. No, neither team has Grim. Well, no. Red team has Grimchild. Blue team does not. Because I'm not sure who has what fragile charms. I know we saw at least one divine check earlier.
Yeah, I think neither team has. Maybe it's Heart that neither team has.
Sounds right. I know that.
Check the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing that really put Red Team caught them up was I believe it was Tim. It might have been Purenail. One of them checked a lot of QG and was able to clear it of its majors rather quickly, while Blossom was in Kalos. So.
And Auto not benching there is interesting since they don't have Sea Dash, so won't be able to clear White Palace. It's gonna have to Dream Nail to get back in again. Unless it's right here. It's not right here.
No, maybe he's hoping that the major is early.
Yeah. The interesting thing is it doesn't have to be early, so you can go as far as the second Soul Totem in Path of Pain, and even Sea Dash can be there. So very interesting. Maybe trying to read that Sea Dash is in White Palace and going for it now. I don't think he checked. I didn't see if he checked it earlier, so maybe he checked what was at the top of White Palace earlier, and it's not something good. But if he's doing all this when there is the ability to have knowledge that there's something at the top of White Palace, that could be very unfortunate.
Oh, shop key is at Birthplace Egg.
Yeah.
That'll probably have some of our Dirtmouth checks.
Yeah, Void Heart being, you know, one of the stories of this tournament. Been seeing a lot of racers having to do this entire cutscene. It's been very fun.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting newer features to Rando because that was introduced in Rando 4. Wow, it's been such a long time since I have actually seen that part of White Palace from Quado. I'm so used to people being able to skip portions of it with C-Dash.
Are not having any luck so far, but he's really just hoping for the elusive C-Dash and Path of Pain, I'm guessing.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah, very comfortable. Very comfortable. We're seeing the true ending runner in him right here.
Yeah, Quado, who is a true ending runner and also a Path of Pain % runner, really letting that speedrunning knowledge go to good use here. Oh, Blossom with a gamer drop. Finally going to Bretta. So hopefully we get to see that GPZ check.
Seeing
See
old
whether
checks
we're
from
going to get
Purenail
some.
here. We know that it's just at the Soul Totem on the way to Crown and Deep Focus, but he doesn't know that, so he's gonna do some checks here. Let's see what we got from Blossom. We have... Oh, it's just a Mask Shard. Thank goodness for them.
Nice. As much as I would always love to see GPZ content, it just makes a rando that already had Gallo 2 even longer with Gallo 1 and a long boss fight at the end.
Blossom's gonna see that Soul Eater and want to take something else off. Yeah. Yeah. If you people in chat thinking that it's hard to figure out where the check is when runners are very quickly scrolling through text, it is here as well. It was always hard to figure out what was at White Palace back in the Rando 3 tournament, and still is now, and with GPZ as well. Sometimes it's hard to see what these things are, but
I'm happy you caught that there was a Mask Shard, but I guess I certainly didn't see what the GPZ check was.
yeah, I think for me, I usually look for capital letters or something like that, because I think most of the items are capitalized.
Yeah, me too, but they just skipped through that text so quickly that I missed it.
Oh yeah, and being mentioned that Path of Pain had Fragile Heart, which is interesting. Quado's gonna try to... Ooh! Almost had it, even. He's gonna have to warp out, though, and is probably gonna check Grim Tent here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's putting on Fragiles.
And it's just a seal. Unfortunate. Oh, and they're getting their first dive. I think Purenail's first instinct, rightfully, is going to Crystallized Mound, although this is not going to pay off. And as we know, since it is at the other dive check, well, one of the other dive checks, there's obviously also the egg up top, but we know it's at Crown. We know this isn't going to pay off, but oh well.
Looks like I had missed it. Looks like Blossom had taken a death in Waterways, and Purenail and Tim are now a couple items ahead. They bought the dupe Purenail at the fountain. Yep. Now trying to find the remaining majors.
And I am guessing that blue team will catch up here, though, with checking Abyss, which red team has already done, and it looks like they were able to get, I guess, 4 items there, or maybe 1 or 2 were at Broken Vessel Lostkin checks.
Quato checking Birthplace, but of course not being able to check the egg, since he doesn't have C-Dash.
And yeah, the other thing being, of course, they can't clear Abyss because they don't have C-Dash. C-Dash is, of course, necessary to check the very elusive Lifeblood Core egg. Here's Purenail going for the clear on first peak. Blossom going for the potential clear on Waterways. Unsure, though.
Here, Purenail's getting that tram pass. Finally getting the last, that's all of peak for them. Yes, all of peak for them.
And so... Oh, it does get a Scream Skip. That was a very interesting Scream Skip from Blossom, but it was a Scream Skip, so... And yeah, there is no song if you get the first Scream Skip into a stagger. So if you scream skip but don't stagger Dung Defender, you still get the song, but if you stagger, you don't get anything. Very sad. So we
Oh,
might.
Quado's gonna have to go. Just
Yeah.
if he's looking to check Shade Cloak, just dashing across that really long lake instead of having Z dash.
And I actually missed where Shade Cloak was. Or wait,
Wait, they don't have Shade Cloak.
where was? I forget where
Red
Red Team's
does.
Shade Cloak was.
Shade
Shade
Cloak was
Cloak
at
at
Wings.
Wings, right? Okay. Yeah, Shade Cloak was in Basin. Yeah, I remember this one now. Purenail hopefully not dying here. Okay. Does take it safe.
Oh, Blossom in
Quato.
Queen's Gardens now. She's probably going to pick up a couple majors there. I remember Red Team picking up some slack in QG.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go through the long way since still no QG stag. And I don't know, did Blossom not get Bread a bench? Because one of them should go to Deep Nest from Mantis Lords, maybe through Fungal Core.
I don't remember if I saw Blossom benching or not. I don't recall her benching, or them benching, sorry. But
Yeah, Quado's gonna have to go to Abyss another time, and Quado doing another check that we know isn't it, because we did see you, I think it was at the map in Fog Canyon. Very interesting and funny that the Defender's Crest does damage to Dung Defender during Scream. Although, Purenail not getting the Scream skip is interesting. Oh, we haven't seen the Canyon check yet. Okay, well, I am mistaken. Yeah, I think we did see the lost kin check from Red Team, but I'm not sure what it was. And yeah, Red Team's gonna have to go back to Abyss as well, probably for the Lifeblood Core check. Looks like we have a bunch of raiders here. Yeah, so hello everyone. For those who are not familiar with what's going on here, we are in winners semifinals here. This is the all major items tournament. As you can see on the side, on the right side, they have a tracker that is showing them where the quote major items are. So we have a list of major items that you can see all on the trackers at the top and bottom. It's a bunch of spells, movement items, specific charms that lock things. There are keys, nail arts, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so they're trying to find all of the major items and finish with the true ending. And right now we have Red Team actually pulling ahead here pretty significantly with a 9-15 lead. I think is this confirmed? Yeah, so I think Red Team has not gone through all of, well, they've gone through most of it, but not all of it. And I guess it's confirmed that it's either Deep Nest from Mantis Lords or it's Nosk. So I think we saw Quado do the rest of Deep Nest.
yeah. I don't think there's any other Deep Nest checks other than those.
Yeah, since Purenail just did Sharp Shadow.
Okay, so we're seeing Quado's making his way towards what we know is their second dash.
Yeah, and so the little small consolation prize for Blue Team right now is that they've done quite a bit of White Palace already, so they have some progress on that, although they're not going to like to hear that, considering they had to do it without C-Dash, so... we'll see. Blossom's going to have to go all the way through QG now.
Spore Shroom.
Yep. And yeah, so the other interesting thing is that Red Team has not cleared City yet. So they're different splits here is all. It's hard to say considering a lot of these areas are much bigger. So like Red Team having 3 more things in Basin is huge because that area is pretty small. Although they did have to do Void Heart Climb, so that's not a small time loss at all. But yeah, something like City is a huge area, and being behind on that can be very slow to catch up on.
Yeah, it looks like now that Quado and Blossom have kind of gone to some places that we've already seen Tim and Purenail go, they are catching back up on the major items race here.
Looks like we're gonna see Markoth from Blossom here, and then probably Lower Edge from Quado, maybe?
And yes, I see a question in chat, and Blossom is using the Grub Train mod, which for every grub that they collect, there will be a little companion grub following them along. So that is why there are so many little grubs following Blossom.
And I'm not sure, is it? Okay, so it's not confirmed since they don't have NMG yet. So it's either at Grim or NMG, I think. Unless there was something at Egg Shop that I missed, which... let's be real, it's impossible to see when the runners do Egg Shop because it scrolls too fast.
Egg Shop is fast, there are 4 runners, and the text is small.
Awesome, don't die to Markoth. There you go.
They didn't, they're good.
And it looks like Purenail is also going to be doing the White Palace in search for C-Dash. Is not going to find it, as we know. Although, yeah. So, is not going to find it here, but this is going to allow Blue Team to catch up as well, since this is, I think, where a lot of the chunk of time went. We saw from Blue Team, one teammate did Colo, and then later one team did, Quado did White Palace, so like Blossom and Quado were both not checking things for quite a while, and so we saw Red Team catch up. Oh, actually, we do see C-Dash. Wow. And that was at NMG. I don't know where Great Slash was, actually. I don't know if you caught that.
I just noticed that Red Team just got Dash Slash. I did not see.
Yeah, so I don't know where Great Slash is, because that's the one that apparently Blue Team is missing. I know that Dash Slash was at, I think it was behind the Soul Warrior.
Yeah, it was. It stings when you remember like so many similar pickups, but not the one that you're looking for.
Great Slash apparently in Lower Edge. Interesting. So I guess that's Tramp Pass Edge? That would make sense if they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I don't think they...
Blossom doing Ram here? Or...
Quado doing that content, birthplace climb. Surely using those true ending skills, which we know
Blossom...
will them.
Yeah, I would think Blossom wants to go to Deep Nest for Mantis Lords here, but if they didn't bench at Bretta, then that might be what throws them off here. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is Fog Canyon. Yeah, so luckily Blossom not opting to go for Grim yet, because we know that will be Well, it's not a major item. Could be Shaman Stone. But luckily not wasting the time on that. Since we know that the last check is at NMG. And is Quato gonna go... So what we're hoping for is that Quato will go to lower edge here. I think Quato's gonna check Sharp Shadow first. I think it's interesting. I don't know if any of the teams have anything near Mantis Lord's Deep Nest right now. I don't know if any of them benched there.
I don't believe any of them did, especially just another result of that no items in fungal.
Yeah, I guess you don't really think about that, but that is definitely an area that you want to have covered. Because, yeah, that is huge. And Blossom's going to teach Dark Eyes here. Hopefully we see Quato go to lower edge. This is
Yeah.
what we're hoping to see here. I don't know. Okay. And we are seeing the tram bench. And this will get them their C-Dash, so probably we'll clear White Palace and then maybe also do Abyss after that.
Yeah, right now we see Purenail in White Palace, obviously able to actually complete the whole thing, and Path of Pain, since he has a C-Dash, unlike how Quado did earlier.
Yeah, and so... Yeah, people were saying in chat that Blossom saved Beretta. The unfortunate thing is, if you save Beretta from waterways, it's very easy to miss the bench. So you can just warp out of Beretta and not get the bench, but hopefully they did get the bench. I don't know.
Oh, Quado picking up Great Slash, so...
Yeah, so you would go to Deep Nest from Fungal Core, but that is still Mantis Lord's Deep Nest. Well, that's the area. It's Deep Nest by Mantis Lords, but you can enter it through Fungal Core because that's how you get the third check, the Mask Shard. And we're gonna see probably a full Path of Pain clear.
Quado not checking NMG.
Yeah, a little bit weird. Just getting lost in Crossroads first. I mean, if Blossom saved Sly, that might be why.
Yeah, Blossom was the one that saved Sly, so...
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate split here because Quater doesn't really have anything to do right now. Is Quato going? The Quato's gonna buy the bait. Okay, this makes sense.
Just picking up all
While
of
you
those
have
major items.
extra time. Yeah.
Yeah. Picking up those majors that he knows are there, but they weren't able to get earlier. Shaman Stone in Path of Pain. For 5? Yuck.
Gross. I mean, I would overcharm that, but...
I know a lot of people who would be willing to wear Shaman Stone for just about any price, but... It's still annoying. You really like to see Shaman at 0 or 1. Anything up to its vanilla cost of 3.
And Quato's just waiting here for Blossom, which... yeah. Can go do Nosk. Makes sense. Oh, and it looks like Purenail apparently dunked when he was right by the hidden totem. Fortunate.
And Nosk is Lurian. That was that Deepness major.
Oh, wait. Looks like Quato's gonna do Grim. This is... Well, we're gonna warp out soon.
Yeah, as soon as he sees that Blossom got Crystal Dash.
Yeah, so... I don't know where Blossom's going. I'm guessing Blossom didn't bench at Beretta and is actually probably going back there right now. Quato's gonna go finish White Palace. Did they check? Did Quado check what was at the top of White Palace? Did Purenail check out what was at the top of White Palace? I don't know.
I don't believe Purenail nor Quado checked the top of White Palace.
Just very interesting play, because if there is something at the top of White Palace and you have been checking Path of Pain, that's complete waste of time.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's one
if
thing if you
Purenail's it,
can confidently
Purenail and
know you...
Quado previewed. Okay. And yeah, Blossom's going back
Ah.
here, definitely regretting not having gone here sooner. And since Quado has, like, basically all the other areas, we're gonna guess that Blossom is going to probably also do Nosk, if Lurian was at Nosk. And... Purenail?
Oh, Purenail...
No! Whoa!
Oh, a Path of Pain death is...
And that, yeah, that's heartbreaking, because they're, like, definitely in the lead here, but that probably puts them definitely behind.
Journal entries are on, right? So that is still a check. Oh, looks
Yep, it's a
looks
check.
like Purenail's
You have
just
to go
going
back
to...
through. Yeah,
check
Purenail's
the top.
gonna... A little bit of hopium right here. Gonna hope that it's not at the end of Path of Pain, because if it is at the end of Path of Pain, then that is a lot of time wasted.
Wow. That is rough.
Oh, second chance? Second chance? You got it. Blossom finding, let's see, Spell Twister, and then... Let's see how much Spell Twister was for, but... I think Quado here with probably a bit of a cleaner Path of Pain.
Tim may as well be going for White Defender. I think it's probably one of, if not the last, waterways checks we haven't seen, so if there's still a major there, it's probably there.
Oh, struggling again. Hopefully gets through this. Nice. And gets through it. Okay. And if you're Purenail here, you're really hoping it's at this totem, because if it's not, then that could be the thing that loses them the race. Yeah. And not sure where Blossom's going here. Is Blossom going for the upper map?
Possibly.
Guess if they have not checked that, then that does make sense.
Did you check what majors, or did you catch, what majors Tim and Purenail have that Quado and Blossom are still missing?
Yeah, so I believe there's one at Lifeblood Core, there's one, well, in White Palace that we don't know about, and then there's the one at White Defender.
Ah, okay.
And if you're Quado Blossom, you're really hoping that the White Palace check is right here and not where Purenail is. And, oh!
It's World's
is!
Wait.
And, let's see, what does Quado pick up here? And it's a dash. It's a dash at the end of Path of Pain.
Wow.
And this is their chance.
Yeah, because now Purenail has to do Path of Pain all over again, and hopefully
Quado's
not take another death
to
to those King's
Yes, the only problem here, of course, being that Quado or Blossom, I guess it would be Blossom. Blossom still has to do White Defender after Quado does Nosk. So this is going to be a close one, but I mean, seeing with how Purenail was struggling with Path of Pain, they might not... Yeah, seeing Purenail not be as comfortable with Path of Pain here is maybe going to be really what helps Blue Team.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the comparison between, you know, Quado, who has speedrun these with, like, less equipment, and Purenail, like, just not being very good at Path of Pain, but not as comfortable as, you know, a speedrunner would be. So,
Yeah, and I think Blossom's gonna set up for probably White Defender here.
Wow, this is close though.
Yeah, this crazy close race. And So finishing up soon. We're probably going to see it on Blossom's screen before we see it on Quato's screen. And there it is.
Yep.
And we're seeing Purenail is at second room, does know to go immediately right, which is good. This is going to be very close.
Yes.
Quato's going to go straight to Black Egg, presumably, and since Blossom has Nail 2, this is actually a fast fight. I think Tim also was the one that had Nail 2 for his team.
Yes, Tim was the one that did Kalos, so...
And it's really, I mean, well, Blossom obviously could still die. I'd expect it less, considering, well, I don't know. We've seen, I guess, one Blossom death, one death at least from each runner, but yeah, probably expecting less deaths from Blossom than from Purenail here, and so really the pressure's all on Purenail right now. If Purenail can do this quickly and yeah, it'll put them in the lead here. I think Quada's gonna go straight for Black Egg. Tim probably is as well. And it's just a race here. Can Blossom, or can, yeah, I guess the pressure's on Purenail. Can Purenail beat Path of Pain in time and not die to King's Molds again? Because, yeah, Blossom's done already.
And we all know that this last room of Path of Pain is definitely the hardest too, so even just hitting one too many, hazard respawns start at the front of the room. It's really nerve-wracking. There's definitely probably a lot going through his mind right now, knowing that this is the last major.
And apparently I missed it, but well, I guess both of us missed it. Oh, and Seal of Binding in Black Egg is very funny. We're seeing a bunch of no's in chat, and I saw where Tim went. We can say that maybe I blocked it out of my mind, or we can say that I accidentally missed it. Whichever storyline you want to say, but I do believe Tim killed Mila.
Oh no.
And Purenail gets done.
Wow, and here we see...
And we're gonna see all of the racers in Radiance at the same time, most likely. This is a crazy close race. Purenail might have bench storage.
Oh no.
Let's hope Purenail either benches here or... Oh! Quato gets the slide.
Quato, no.
Oh no. D-Dark, D-Dark, D-Dark! D-Dark! Quato used D-Dark! Quato used...
I think true ending.
My God.
True ending brain kicked
Quato.
in.
Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my...
That has happened to, that's happened to Quato before on, PB pace for true ending before, so I'm sure that brought back just wonderful memories.
Yeah. Quato trying to save a little bit of soul there, but it was very scary.
Definitely got down to 1 HP, and now we see 3 of our 4 randomers all in Radiance right now. This is insane.
Hoping for no deaths here. Any death could put your team behind. So, really, I mean, we don't expect it from any of these runners. They're in the upper bracket right now for a reason, but you never know. Yeah, Quato not even getting hit on first phase. Really
yeah, definitely.
Oh no, Tim. Yeah, and all of the racers are on Radiance, and this is it.
Oh, Tim sneaking in a heal, but greeting it a little too much, taking damage from the light ray.
Yeah, this is all.
Oh man.
You gotta.
Blossom's on climb, and Quato is now on climb. And here you see that TE movement come into play.
Yeah, both of them have GG'd.
Wow.
So
insane.
GG's to Blossom and Quato. Crazy race.
Holy.
wild.
I was expecting this. I was expecting this match to be very close, and
Yeah,
but I was not expecting it to be that close.
yeah, expecting a close race, maybe a hot race here, but was not expecting that. That
And
was
it all came down to Path of Pain.
yeah,
Wow.
that's all.
Jeez. If that major would have been anywhere else in White Palace or Path of Pain, this would have been a completely different race.
And we're asking if anyone wants an interview. Obviously, nerves are probably very high right now, and so if they don't want an interview, then it's fine. Hello, GG's.
Hello.
GG's.
So that race was close, but I don't think you guys know quite how close it was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we do not.
So I think Purenail Tim know.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
But Blossom Quado don't know what just happened. So technically
don't.
both of you did finish. I think you guys maybe had cleaner radiances, so I think you would have finished before. So it looks like you would have finished before Tim anyway. But definitely what caused the bigger problem was Purenail died to King's Molds.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did the final totem, and it wasn't the major, and I was like, God.
Oh, that sucks.
I still think
Yep.
that was the right play to check that last totem
Yeah,
to make
definitely.
sure. But
Oh,
Yeah.
that was right
that
there,
was
yeah.
heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was pretty one-sided for a while. I think the main thing that made it seem more one-sided was just that Blossom and Quado, you guys had gone to the more major dense areas at the beginning. So you guys were up like 5 or 6 for like a long time. And so even though I think you guys found Wings first and had that for a while as an advantage, and Purenail Tim found Dash first and had that for a while as an advantage, but you guys were still up because of the more check dense areas, or more major dense areas, I should say. But yeah, really, and Red Team really caught up. It was pretty shocking, like how fast they were clearing at the end. And
Yeah, Red Team was able to clear, I think, QG and some places in, oh gosh, Deep Nest? I cannot remember offhand. That Blossom and Quado you just hadn't picked up yet, and so they were ahead until that very end.
Yeah, I mean it's just so unfortunate, you know, that
mm-hmm.
White Palace. Of course, I mean the ironic part is I picked up I went into Black Egg, I picked up Seal of Binding, and of course that's, you know, the irony of the rando is just
yeah,
so nice.
Yeah, that was quite ironic. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nix, for rolling a Path of Pain seed.
It was a Path of Pain White Defender Colo 2 seed?
Yeah,
And Lost as well.
I told
Actually?
For those watching, before the race, I was the one that picked numbers for the seed, and I am cursed, and all of my rando seeds are bad. So I told the runners before we started that I apologize in advance. So
Oh,
I mean,
Nos,
it could have
yeah.
been worse. It could have been a
It was
GPZ
Nos.
seed too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we were worried that it was
terrified of
gonna
that.
be. We were
'Cause
worried,
you guys
and then
had
it's
split Edge and Deep Nest. I think both teams split Deep Nest and Edge,
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I mean-
when I went into Edge, I was like, you know, let's hope it's not a GPC seed because that's gonna be so annoying.
So, I mean,
And with
what I was
Fungal
hoping
0.
to see was waterways into Fungal for both Bretta and Bretta Bench, so you could check GPZ earlier, but yeah, people didn't really do that. So
that's what I did.
Oh.
I mean, I did waterways
Not early.
into Bretta.
Not early.
Well, not early.
Yeah, not
but...
early though. Yeah.
So, you know.
Oh, such a close race. So upsetting.
It's crazy close.
But
if I had a better Radiance second phase, I think I could have beaten the two of you, but you know, the teammate was a bit behind.
Yeah,
we
Major
have
unfortunately.
GGs to both teams because
Yep.
this was definitely a very, very good race. And like not only for like the content, but there was a lot of very good gameplay, and it was very. You definitely gave us a very good show to watch.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good play from both sides. Like, I mean, I think everyone died at least once, but really it was just so clean all
I only died
around.
once on purpose. My death doesn't count.
Yeah, I
died
died
once
to
in
lost
water.
skin.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, lost skin death
Well,
from
on
facts.
purpose.
So we
Yes.
do
Just lost skin
have
death,
we do have a
yes.
question from chat, which is Tim and Purenail. They're wondering why you put off City for so long. I'm guessing just it didn't seem like there was a lot there, and it was a big area. But yeah, people are wondering.
No
Yeah.
clue, actually. No
Yeah, I
clue.
don't think we made a
I
conscious decision about it.
I think we thought that other areas would be more beneficial, and we went there instead.
Yeah. So like also
because the
I
checks
guess
would be longer, right? I think I went to Kingdom's
Yeah.
Edge first because I thought I wanted to check what was at Colosseum, and then the other checks just blurred into each other, and I just didn't think about going back to City until the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
late
I guess-
dive definitely hurt us a bit.
Yeah, the late dive definitely hurt.
Yeah, I think the follow-up question then is why did you guys go to Cliffs? So our guess was because of the dirt myth checks, because of Grim Tent, and because of KP. But
Yeah.
I mean, let's hear it
Yeah.
from you guys. I guess is there anything else?
So, we had Dreamnail, which I forgot. I went into Cliffs. I was like, I'm gonna go into KP because it's the dirt math checks. While I'm there, I might as well just do Cliffs because we had Lantern. I knew that, so I could do the majority of the checks there. Like there's 2 checks I cannot do. The odds are in my favor of getting the major, and it paid off in this case.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, we put up close for a while and it kind of hurt us early.
Yeah.
Not having
Cliffs is
dash.
such a fast area to clear, even if it only has one major.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have to walk all the way through the entrance KP area, you start to consider it a little bit less. But I mean,
guess.
But good on
Yeah.
Blossom and Quado. You guys did not have dash as early as the other team, but yet was able to get a lot of checks very quickly. Picking more vertical rooms since you had that wings advantage, which obviously you didn't know, but like you used the movement that you had to your advantage like really well. So
Yeah, our Dash Master, Sprint Master was so nice.
yeah, oh yeah, that is
Mhm.
both
well.
teams benefited from that for sure.
Yeah, I think it was especially interesting to see because Tim actually went into Edge with just Claw Dash, and Blossom went into Edge with just Wings Claw. So it was a very interesting split because in the vertical rooms, Blossom would go way faster, and then in the horizontal rooms, Tim would go way faster. You guys went into the rooms at different times, but it was very clear to see the differences in the rooms. And also, so little bit of spoilers from chat here, but I think you guys already know about these things, or I guess they're getting ahead of what I was gonna say, which is that yeah, Blossom Quado as the winners. You guys are next going up against Number Falcon. So thoughts on that a little bit?
That is a strong team. I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But winning this match probably gives us some confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
and then Purenail and Tim, you guys go against the winners of Apress Kuro versus Maso Zorark. So
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scared of Masazor because they performed very well in their past 2 races.
yeah.
They've been playing very well, and that me not knowing them definitely made me underestimate them at the start of the tournament. I was like, okay, well, I can basically draw the bracket, but they definitely surprised, and I think they have a good chance, and I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, maybe even more so is that if they do beat a Press Kuroshi, that's even scarier.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, yeah, we'll see. I think all the teams that are left are pretty dang strong, and they've beaten some pretty strong teams on their own. So, good job to all of the racers. Yeah.
Yeah, GG
Thanks.
racers. That was a wonderful showcase of skills.
Thanks everybody for watching.
GG.
Thank you to these runners. for having a really good showing here. It was really nice, and thanks Ash as well for stepping in as restreamer here. And as we close out this weekend of the tournament, I think the runners are all going to schedule their matches. There might be some this week. Most of them probably will happen on the weekend, but there might be some this week since the lower bracket does have to catch up a little bit. The winners bracket doesn't have, well, it only has one more match, and losers bracket has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more matches. So we'll be seeing how that goes. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I want to also especially thank Sierra for making the layout that you're seeing right now. It is, yeah, looks good. Keeps all the things in order.
It's very
And
difficult to fit all of that on one layout, so I'm thoroughly impressed.
yeah, so we will see you guys whenever the next match happens. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you
GG's,
for
everyone.
watching.
Bye bye. GG's.
Bye.
GG.